How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Loose Cannons podcast. Hope you're good. Hope you're well. FA Cup action is out of the way. And yes, we are through to the next round. Unfortunately, due to the way they do it this season, Monday is when we're going to find out who's next. But we pretty much know everyone through, aside from West Ham Brentford, which plays out tomorrow night. The big six teams are through, and I guess that's what we're going to be looking out for. But the panel is back. And I say the panel because James missed the last show. So big up, James.
Special guest. Special guest.
It feels like that. 38 shows in, he's missed 2 already. That's he's looking Abu Dhabi-ish right now.
You lot are taking the piss. It's midnight. I can't believe I've made it. I didn't even watch the game. I did a Jordan. I've rocked up to talk about a game I haven't watched. I've just watched 3 minutes worth of highlights. I'm going to pretend I've got some insight. So yeah,
I mean, I watched the whole game, and all I took out was 3 minutes worth of conversation. So I mean, you've watched all you need to watch, my bro. So yeah, big up you. The internet's holding. Big up South Africa in the building as well.
Mate, honestly, it's so good. I'm in Stellenbosch at the moment. Just shout out to those who I see it sometimes. The comments of Loose Cannons when I mentioned I was coming out here, and a bit on the Gooniverse too. Yeah, so many Arsenal fans out here, which is amazing. Yeah, met a few already, but genuinely it's just a beautiful, beautiful country. And yeah, loving Cape Town, loving Stellenbosch, which is just outside. And yeah, here for a friend's wedding. So congrats to them. But I mean, I was at it's funny. So the reason I missed the Mansfield game was because I was like on a wine tour, basically. So I was sort of, I was sort of battered going, it's 1-1. Like, what's going on here? And then I looked again quick and went, oh no, we're good. So when everyone was stressing, I saw all the tweets coming in being like, and breathe, relax, we did it. And I'm just there like, great. Where's another wine? So yeah, it was all good. I don't even drink wine, but when you're on a wine tour, you kind of have to just embrace it. The grapes and the oaky, whatever. And anyway, it's all wine to me. But yeah, all that. Yeah, all that.
What's the rule? You don't swallow. You
don't swallow.
Oh, yeah. What do you do then? Swish.
You let the flavors and the aroma and the texture touch the inside of your mouth. That's it, and then you spit.
Right.
Anyway, I drank it. And
that's no
class, James. So uncultured. What's wrong with you? You're Italian.
I downed it. I was so slow. I mean, I had like 2 glasses. I was out in the sun. I was like, okay, well, I need some water. Because we have not had that kind of weather in England. So it took some getting used to. But anyway, should we talk about football? Welcome, Daps. Hey,
Daps. You've even forgot the pattern. We need to introduce the guest, not you. You've been talking away like we give a shit, bro. Forget the Reds. We're 7 points clear in the league.
And I just welcomed him.
Just about.
Thank you. I just about snuck in there. Thank you so much.
No, let's do it again. Let's do it again. No, we can't do it. Let's do it again. Come on, Turks, do it properly. Let's do it properly.
I'm trying to do it properly. It's you, man, that are bringing the standards down, the fogging standards. Come on, man. Seriously, man. But we got Dapo in the building.
Come on, Dapo. Big up yourself.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You've been interviewing stars for a little while now, obviously doing your own thing on the YouTube channel, Counter Attack Pod. But Daps, talk to me, man. How you been? Obviously, we know each other from the personal lives, and you've done some things with Jordan. First time you're linking up with James, so it should be a good convo. But you good? Like everything well? Feeling good, Arsenal wise?
Yeah, look, I'm in the best place as an Arsenal fan I've been in years. Do you know what I'm saying? Some might look at me and think I'm one of the more downbeat ones normally, whereas I like to think I'm just a bit more realistic, and I'm just really, really happy this season, to be honest. Really, really happy.
I mean, you're on the right show. I mean, there's a couple of us that have been called downbeat or words similar, you could say, in the past. Jordan, I don't think we've ever been called downbeat. It's usually a bit harsher than that, but
like Tottenham fan normally. That's what I get called. I'm a Tottenham fan.
No, but Dapper, you've been doing your thing a little while now, bro, and in a different way too, people. So go show him some love. Obviously, support Arsenal, big fan, but he also does other things outside of the box, not the usual too. So go follow the journey over there, people. That was a good guy too. So remember, vouchers for that. But yeah, we're in a good place right now, man. Arsenal wise. Whether you're downbeat or deluded over the last few years, it finally looks like we're about to get over the line. In the league, it's 7 points, and we parked that off for a second, even though we'll touch in on it, and the Tottenham result too, which is obviously something to smile about. But Mansfield FA Cup, I mean, heavily rotated sides, pretty much just got the job done in the usual fashion. Let's start with you, Jordan, on that one, because James hasn't bothered watching the game. He was drinking wine, so yeah, we were gonna have to divert from the norm right now. So, Jordan, you watched the game, right?
I actually did watch the game. Like, I don't want to like call out certain man who have called themselves out, but I did watch the game. Yeah, man, I ain't got too much really to say. Really, it's FA Cup. It's Macclesfield away. Is it Macclesfield or Mansfield? Whoever it was, one of them.
Mansfield, but that's very you, so it's okay.
Yeah, whoever it was, some M team in the.
It's a field, one of the fields.
On the fields, yeah. We got the job done, man. I thought first of all it was a good FA Cup tie. I thought there were a couple of good FA Cup ties this week. It was a good game. They brought it. They definitely brought it. They weren't about trying to lie down or even just like sit back. They went for it. It looked like a lot of banter between the fans in the ground as well, watching on TV. Yeah, team was changed a little bit. There was a few young players that got a chance to break through. You know my thoughts on DOWMAN. I don't like talking about him too much. I'm not comfortable with him being in the first team. But all I will say is in the first half, best player on the pitch. He was the best player in the pitch in that first half. He was brilliant. I thought Salmon struggled a little bit, but he wasn't fullback. So I'll give him a slight pass. I will give him a slight pass, but I thought he struggled a bit. Martinelli, I thought, had a poor game. But the two goals were brilliant. The two finishes from... It's so funny, because I think Madueke's finishing is terrible. I've been telling people all year that I think his finishing is atrocious. And then he does what he does in Europe like 3-4 months ago. And then he does that. And even the goal, was it Leeds? Is it Leeds?
No, that's a corner.
What?
He scored a goal recently. That was a decent strike.
Oh,
so like, every now and again,
I think it's the FA Cup.
FA Cup, that's it.
Yeah. Every now and again, he scores like a goal that kind of mugs me off a little bit, but I still stand by his finishing is generally
when you give that man time to think, he's putting it wide. You
maybe
give him a shot where it's just off the cuff, just one take, bang. Even the goal came from a strike just outside the box that wasn't great, but it was on target. When he had more time to think, but giving it to him on a one take bang, he just stroked it home. Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm with you on that.
No, I also feel like finishing is different. So I know that sounds weird. Like, obviously, we're talking about putting the ball in the back of the net, but I feel like finishing is one-on-one, like how clean do you strike it? How composed are you? That kind of thing. Whereas I think that's just pure ball striking, slapping the ball. I feel like it's a different skill. I don't know if that makes any sense. I feel like
I think he's just inconsistent with his striking. I think, like the same way he's just hit that shot. I've also seen him hit one that goes out for a throw-in, and that's not out of the norm for him.
More times than not, Naps, you know what I mean? He's not a clean finisher of the ball, but fair play to him. That's a brilliant goal. And the Eze goal was just as good for me. And I put in the group that's the same goal he scored against Tottenham at the Emirates, the first one. It wasn't top corner. That one was bottom corner, I think. This one was top corner. But it's that edge of the box, quick feet, bang. That's the kind of goal that's becoming, it seems like, his trademark. I loved it. So it was good to see him come on. A couple of injuries, which are a little bit concerning as we kind of come into the run-in now. Calafiore's, I've said for about a year now, is concerning me with his injuries. I don't know what, there might have to be questions we have to ask in the summer about him and his role at this club, because it's getting a little bit silly now. And I think Trossard came off. I don't know if Trossard just came off because he didn't really want it. And maybe I'm being a little bit harsh, but I just wonder if Trossard they put it on, man, and he was a bit like, nah.
I don't need this. I don't need this.
Like, right now, I hope it is that, because we actually need him. But that left-hand side is...
I'm not about this battle life. But no, man, we got the job done. I made it interesting with the equaliser, but we were generally in control the whole game. And on we go, man.
Oh my God, that's talk to me, man. What did you pick out from the game? Overall thoughts about it?
Overall, if I'm being totally honest, I would have liked it to have been a bit more smooth sailing. If I'm being honest, I think especially in that first half, there were a couple moments where we're just giving them too much joy. Do you know what I'm saying? And that was the bit that concerned me. But on the flip side, it was a totally changed team. So I wasn't expecting as much cohesion. I just felt like with the quality we had in the pitch, like we shouldn't be allowing them to make a game of it as it should. I should not be in the last 10 minutes thinking, oh my gosh, I hope they don't get an equaliser. I should have, but it just had one of those games. It just had that feeling to it where something could go wrong here. Do you get what I'm saying? And but yeah, Dowman, best player for me. I think and I've said this so many times, what I really love about him, he plays every game as if there's no pressure. He gives anyone problems. I was thinking dodgy pitch, League Two players, he's not going to have it. But listen, he doesn't care, and he's got mad responsibility. He takes it on, and for me, different sort of player. And Eze, I'm just happy that Eze really, starting to look a bit more comfortable lately. And the moment he got that ball on the edge of the box, I was like, yeah, this is a goal, because that's becoming his trademark too. But overall, man, I'm just happy to go through, and I'm one of those people that's like, at this stage of the season, I don't care how it looks, just win the game. And we managed to win the game. I've got a couple of excuses because it's like a second string side and everything. So on to the next round we go.
Yeah, I'm with you though. Mansfield first half, they had about a 15-minute patch where, I mean, you mentioned Salmon, Jordan. I think that was Mosquera's worst game in an Arsenal shirt because of Mansfield's physical approach, the high press. They were doing very well. Oates in particular, Oates was man of the match for me, regardless of us winning it. And he was actually given, I think, man of the match as well, which is unusual. Most time they give it to a winning team, which I don't think is the right thing to do. I think he deserved it there. And he made our defenders work. And this is a Mosquera we've all been very happy with all season, right? He made our defenders work. So in general, yeah, I think it shouldn't have caused us the problems they did. But in hindsight, typical considering the way we have been playing recently. I think it just gives at the first half of the season, we had a stranglehold on teams. Teams were shitting themselves because they didn't know how to play against us, attack us. Now I feel that shitting themselves thing is not so much there anymore. So it breeds the confidence that it's breeded from whoever we played, United, Brentford, Wolves, and now Mansfield. So I think that is a worry. I'm also with the just win train at this moment in time. But I did want to see a bit more. I don't know. Dowman gave it. When you play teams like Mansfield, I think Martinelli and Madueke did it last time out when we played
Wigan.
Yeah, Wigan. When you play these teams, you've got to fill your boots. You've got to eat well as an attacker, right? And I just don't feel like, aside from the 2 goals, those moments, and Dowman in general, they did much. And I think Dowman's performance, and I think maybe we go into Dowman a bit more here, or maybe just after James's thoughts as well. It makes me wonder, is it really Arteta holding the attack back a bit? But then I'd blame Arteta on player recruitment in the attack if it's not tactical that's stopping them being free on the ball. Because Dowman's doing things on the ball that I want the rest of our attackers to be doing, which is confidently running at defenders, breaking into space. If it's not working for you, pick out the pockets and move. He is very free on that pitch. So I don't know if that's because of how unique he is as a special talent, and Arteta saying, nah, this ain't one we turn into a robot, or if it's because he's not been hindered by the tactical, stringent approach we've maybe had to have over the years, or maybe this was the plan to build such a solid unit and then implement the magic. Because Dowman, you both said it first, Jordan and Dap, when Dowman's on the ball, there's a feeling. And that's what an attacker should bring you, a feeling. All the legendary attackers Arsenal have had, and I'm sure the legendary attackers teams have had for their clubs as well, they all give you that feeling. And none of our attackers this season have given us that feeling, if I'm not mistaken. Dowman, anytime he plays, he gives us that. Whether that's because he's untainted by the modern day tactics and robotic approach, or whether that's actually he is the one Arteta's going to allow to be free, I'm not too sure. And I'm with Jordan on, and James, you know this from pre-season with Dowman. Don't put too much pressure on the lad.
Right.
Don't put him in, lights, cameras, action. That first negative headline, it could hit very different, especially, certain ages. People will mention Yamal, but Yamal's trajectory, amazing. But you cannot compare anything to it, because not only was the trajectory amazing, the media and the headlines that went with it were all amazing up until a point where even recently, he's seeing this woman there. This woman said this about him, or he's going partying there. What's wrong with his dad? These things start coming up, right? Like you cannot expect the same, because that is a very unique situation in Yamal. And he just stepped up Barca, stepped up Spain, won things. I think with DOWMAN, we've got to be a bit more cautious with the way we approach it, even though I'm sure in the next 2 months we're going to hear, should DOWMAN be going to World Cup with England?
I saw that already today.
You saw it already? There you go.
I saw it today. Sorry, go on.
Just before James kind of has his say, my issue with DOWMAN is more a moral thing. I'm with you in that the pressure on him at this age is it's purely a moral thing. I don't think a 16-year-old, 15-year-old should be in the first team. That's just my personal view on it. But
just to play devil's advocate, what does Yamal do to that theory?
No. It's not just an Arsenal thing. It's a blanket thing. It's not really about ability for me. Anybody. I don't think.
I know that. But what does Yamal do for your theory there in terms of Yamal's obviously? I agree with you, but Yamal's obviously broken out of that theory,
sure,
and showed that we can do it at this age, or at least I can.
But that's why I say it's not an ability issue for me. It's not about is the person good enough to play for Barca. Yamal is, or is DOWMAN good enough to play for Arsenal? He is. It's just I don't care. I don't think a 15-year-old kid should be playing for Barcelona in the first team. That goes to Rooney, that goes to Messi, any kid. I just think morally it's not the right thing to do. And people always tell me, "Oh, you're soft." It's like, well, you can call me soft, but he's a child. A child should you can wait, you can train, you can go on loan, you can do other. But for me, it's a moral thing. I don't think he should be playing for Arsenal Football Club. And people say to me, "Oh, yeah, but he's good enough. What's the problem?" Okay, so if he was good enough, but if he was 13, would you play him?
They'd probably say, "Yeah," but I'm with you.
It's
James?
difficult with DOWMAN because you could argue that if they're not exposed to the level of football that they're at the age they're ready, then you risk stunting their development. So take Yamal, for example. This is his 3rd season now. So if we were saying basically you can't come until you're 18, we make it a driver's license thing. You've got to be a certain age before you can play. He might not be as good a player. Maybe we risk the talents never developing quite as well because the point is he needed that exposure at that age because that was the next step for him. I don't know. It's a difficult one. For what it's worth.
Yeah.
What about the flip side where it's like, what's the story? Where in modern day, actually, a lot of stories where players young don't make it into their 30s. Well,
I'm with you a little bit, Jordan. I'm old enough where when I was younger, like it was normal for younger players to just be, eased in, have a couple loans. Yeah, do you get what I'm saying? Whereas now I feel like there's a rush to just throw people in even when they're not ready. But I do think every now and then, there's just an extraordinary talent that and I've seen Arteta actually try to just not even rush him in, but it gets to the point where certain times the talent is just there where you have to be able, you have to just give them the game time. I'm sure Arteta, if he had his way, he'd just keep him away. But, sometimes they're just so good that it's just hard to not play them.
Look at what you just said. I mean, that contract in December was big, but if he didn't get game time prior to that, and Man City, Man United scouts, look at Chido Obi. I'm not comparing the talents, but what I'm saying is they are scouted so young now. They are nabbed so young in terms of the big teams looking around for the next big thing, that if he wasn't particularly happy with the minutes or the pathway into the team, because I know without a shadow of a doubt, Arteta doesn't necessarily want this. In terms of like you said, the moral thing behind it is a kid, and this is Arsenal Football Club. But at the same time, unique talents is mad, and if you don't give that unique talent a pathway, he'll be playing at Man City in 3 years, and you're gonna think, why did we do that?
But Arteta has put pressure on DOWMAN in his own way with some of the quotes. I mean, he has been incredibly praising of Max DOWMAN, and maybe that's more to justify why he's playing him so much. But I think it's probably because actually it's quite consistent with how Arteta is with the youngsters. I mean, before Lewis Skelly and Waneri, we were very critical of Arteta's use of youngsters. We said, you're not giving Martinelli enough minutes, but then you're overplaying Saka. But then there's all these other youngsters, Kozia Dubry, and others that we felt deserved more minutes. Now, I think there is a wider problem at Arsenal around those who don't make it, but kind of nearly did. We don't get any good value for them. And that's probably an academy issue. I think what Arteta's proven in the last 2 years is with Salmon, DOWMAN, Lewis Skelly, Waneri, if you are good enough, he will look beyond the age. Even he will go, I got to get, and I think he's literally said those words. Like with DOWMAN, he's literally said, I can't not play him. Like what he brought him on at Anfield, guys. He brought him on at Anfield with Waneri on the bench.
But you cannot play him though, James. You can, and it's not even like I still wouldn't agree with it. But if we were struggling for right wingers, I would disagree with playing him, but I get the logic, brother. He's in the most stacked position that we've got. It's not like we need to play him. Has DOWMAN contributed points this season? No.
I think what doesn't help, again, it comes back to the fact that you bring him on and he looks like he's one of the best players on the pitch already. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think and I think that's the problem. I can't imagine playing against Chelsea next week. Let's say, for example, if we're playing Chelsea, whatever. I can't imagine, as much as Salmon has done all right, I can't imagine he'll put Salmon there because he doesn't move the needle as much. Do you get what I'm saying? Whereas Max DOWMAN, you put him in and he could make something happen. Whether that be a foul here, whether that be a penalty over there, Max DOWMAN moves the needle, and quite a bit.
So let me ask you, to Turkish's earlier example. Sorry, James, I know you were halfway through your point, but this is interesting to me. Turkish mentioned Yamal, right? And Yamal might be the freak example. He might be the Rooney, right? You could see, again, I don't agree with playing him for Barcelona, but that's just my personal view. But you can see there's a tangible output where you're like, I wouldn't have played him, but he just got 2 assists. DOWMAN's not moved the needle so much that when he is playing, he's getting goals and assists.
But he's getting penalties.
The talent is there to see. The talent is clear. He's going to be a problem. It's obvious. But the talent isn't so much that you're like, rah, my man should score 2 goals.
I don't think we've seen that, to be fair. Like, I don't think he's had the opportunity to prove that or not, to be honest. I get what you're saying.
But I imagine that when he was getting 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there, he was getting assists and getting the odd goal.
Only thing is, he was coming into a side that breeds that football that an attacker would love, whereas DOWMAN's limited minutes so far has come into a side that has been struggling to attack every single time he's come into it. Do you get what I'm saying? I think I get it. It's so hard to mention both names without the comments thinking we're comparing them. We're not. But I could imagine if DOWMAN was getting minutes in a Barca side now or over the last few years, you'd see more of what we saw against Mansfield because Barca promote that. Whereas us, we're getting it in pockets. And even I'm impressed. Someone that agrees with you and James again in the summer, I was saying in fan cams, leave this guy's name out of your mouths for now. But every time I see him, there is a certain special thing. And just as I switched off camera before we go back to James, you mentioned, he doesn't have to play him. You're right, but then you risk losing him and watching him in 3 years and that pain of knowing that that's an Arsenal boy that we fucked up with. And it doesn't feel like fucking up now because morally it feels right. You don't. But football is like Chido Obi. It took me a couple of months to get my head around. Hold on, this guy was banging. We needed a striker. We lost him to United. How did we manage that? In the end, all right, he hasn't progressed like he should. I don't really know what's going on. But if DOWMAN is to be what DOWMAN is touted to be, and we messed it up by playing Madueke, and these, I'll be going mad in 3 years, mate.
Chelsea let De Bruyne and Salah leave and won a couple of Prems in the Champions League.
And then for 8 years, they regretted it, looking back and saying, "We're not regretting it, not Chelsea, regretted it." But
I get it. But sorry, James, we interrupted you. You were making a point, James. Sorry.
No. I mean, look. Also, I think we have to acknowledge that some of it's circumstantial. Would DOWMAN have played if it wasn't Mansfield away in the FA Cup? Like, I think to a degree that kind of placed itself nicely in front of Arteta. Marino was injured and things like that. Rice and Zumendi in particular really needed a rest. So I think Arteta has shown that he'll bring him on at Anfield because he rates the talent. But I also think the opportunity was there. And he went to a back 3, didn't he? Like I said, I didn't watch the game, but he went to a back 3 with basically wingers a wing back because it was more important to give the rest to particular players. And it presented itself nicely for DOWMAN to play in probably where we're going to see him, which is, drifting right in the central pockets as well, make things happen. So he's a sensational talent. And at 16, he's now at that age where he was getting mentioned just over a year ago, and I felt uncomfortable with it because I was like, this guy's 14. 14. I mean, it was beyond I'd never known a player get this much hype before 16, let alone 15, 14. Then we saw him in pre-season at 15. I thought, this is ridiculous. once you start hitting 16, by the end of this year, he's turning 17. You are at that age where if the talent's there, you're playing football. And that's been true, because I agree that there is a nature to rush youngsters now. But forever, for as long as I've been watching football, if you are good enough at 17, you're playing. And I think DOWMAN's he's going to work his way into this team. Now, there's a point that Turkish made that I wanted to come all the way back to, which was, why does he look good and less robotic compared to others? I'd argue we felt the same about Waneri a year ago. And then this year, he felt like he fell more in line. I think it's less to do with the talent, how good the player is, how much freedom they're given. I think it's more that, and I don't mean to kind of insult the intelligence of a 16-year-old, but I imagine that at that age, you almost do more damage trying to overload them with instruction. Like, I imagine there's probably, it's less, or we really want the expression, whatever the word is, which comes with great young talents. And I'm sure Arteta does want that to a degree. I think it's also, can you imagine sitting down with a 15, 16-year-old, sort of, you know, talking pressing tactics, talking this, talking that. Now, I'm sure to a degree he obviously has to do that. But also imagine there's a lot of, listen, I think for this one, we can just let the 16-year-old try and feel his way into the game and enjoy it, because that's how he's going to play his best football. Imagine DOWMAN is spending the whole game thinking about what he's going to do off the ball. I mean, that'd be criminal to do to someone of his talent and at 16. So I think that's part of it too. But I'm glad we spent this long talking about him, because I don't know. I don't know if I've ever seen a youngster this good at Arsenal. The problem is I'd seen others had played way more minutes, like Fabregas, Wilshere, when they broke through. Even Waneri last year, we saw a lot more of them. But of what we've seen of DOWMAN, he looks unbelievable. Like, he really does.
He's on par with Cole and Fabregas. They're the only two other Arsenal kind of products that I remember thinking, oh shit. Cole straight away. I remember him being really small. The shirt was like 4 sizes too big for him. I remember just thinking, oh shit, this guy can effing play. And Fabregas, I probably think Fabregas is still number one. Fabregas just looked like he was on it. It's like, let's go. Do you know what I mean? But he's in that group.
His integration came a bit after this age, though.
He was a couple years older. He was. It's true. That's true.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
Let's end this by, well, I got one more question. Daps, let's start with you. Do you think DOWMAN plays an important part in the next 2 months for Arsenal?
I do. I feel like he's got that little bit of X factor needed in it, and it's going to be important at a time where I feel like the next games in the latter part of the season, they're just going to be so difficult. And you know, we're already a team that are kind of struggling to create at times, you know, and I feel like he just adds something, whether it be 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there. I do feel like he's gonna, you know, play a big part because of what it gives you, even in, like I said, even in terms of winning free kicks, winning pens. Like, he's just something different. And because, and this is my last one, because he doesn't have, you know, that robotic feel, you know, I think it just bodes well in terms of getting something from games.
No, I like that answer, because it might have sounded a foolish question at the beginning, but I actually think he could play an important part. It just feels like he's destined to win us a big game. If the trajectory and the hype and everything is, you know, right, I think he's destined to win us a big game soon at this young age. And we've got a hella big games coming up in the next whatever comp. So is he going to play an important part? It could be coming off the bench and banging one in from 20 yards and we win the game. That's just that one moment. James, same question to you. Do you think he plays a big part? Important part?
No, if I'm really honest. By the way, I really hope Daps is right. I'd love that. What a story. I think we'll just cap it off, like, especially the way we've been branded in the media and by some people this season. It'd be great for like a hairlender youngster with that much flair and quality to kind of be a big part of the story. I would love it more than anything, but I say no because I think our quarterfinal draw will be tough. I mean, obviously there's every chance it's Port Vale or Southampton at home. I think there's every chance it's Anfield, the Etihad, the Bridge. Then do I see him starting that game? Probably not. And then everything else feels too big for him to get the minutes. I also think Arsenal have, you know, obviously I didn't do the show post-Brighton. I think we are sinking our teeth really deep into this grinding out results method. You know, we're competing on all 4 fronts, which is incredible, by the way. I've never got to the 9th of March and seen Arsenal in a final, you know, looking good in the Champions League, top of the league, and a quarterfinals of the FA Cup. I mean, we're having a tremendous campaign on paper, at least. And I just don't know when the game states are going to suit Max Dowman, unless we start losing games and going behind in games, which we rarely do. Because even the drop points at Wolves and Brentford and Man United, we took the lead in all of those. So I just don't know when that's going to come, when it's like, let's call on Max Dowman now.
But okay, let me throw a scenario in there, because Daps mentioned it in terms of profile, but Leverkusen second leg, Bordeaux second leg, it's going to extra time. And we need someone off the bench to change it because pressure's mounting, like Mansfield in the first half or Wolves in the second half. You know, lesser teams have mounted pressure. It's game state is you're drawing extra time, looming 10 minutes to go, and Leverkusen are putting it on. Well, actually, Arteta will do a defensive sub then, so not too much putting it on us. But our attack is floundering. We've seen that enough this season. I honestly can't think. And people are going to say this is knee-jerk off the back of... It's not, because I wasn't wowed by Mansfield. I've been wowed by every minute he's played on the pitch because of age, confidence, etc. But I just feel like do I want to see Madueke come on? Do I want to see Gyökeres come on for Havertz or vice versa? Do I want to see Martinelli for Trossard? These subs that we've seen quite consistent over the last 18 months that hasn't really changed the fortunes in attack much. How many times has our attacking subs changed our attacking fortunes in games where we're under the cosh a little and we need something in attack? Few and far between. Max Dowman's profile, in my opinion, the fact that he can do something off the cuff, the fact that he's not too, into this robotic modern day, I think it could bode well in that. Just one game. I see him winning us one big game this season, and that could be Leverkusen, it could be Etihad, it could be FA Cup semi-final. I don't know, but I just see the trajectory leading to that one point.
Yeah, I think, yeah, okay. So to be fair, yeah, I absolutely can see that moment. I can see there being another moment or two for him this season. Just in terms of, if I was answering it differently, important part, like he becomes someone we regularly bring on, and then we're talking about whether he should be starting. I don't see that kind of thing happening for him. But yeah, there's another point I was going to make, which has now slipped my head. But yeah, I mean, but it's a great conversation to have. And like I said, I'm just not sure we're going to embrace a style of football that platforms him best, if I'm honest. But that's fine. And if this season's been about really good minutes here and there, and then next season he kicks on more, then great. Because I know we have him now. I know we do. But I do think next season he will feel like a new signing. He'll feel like, okay, no, we've fully got this player now, ready, available to use, and to build a team around. How does he work with Saka? What does it mean for Ødegaard? What about when Aries return and Madueke? I mean, call me crazy. I think there's a world in which 3 or 4 of those can all play in the same team. If Arteta's won the league and that sort of, he's got that off his back and he's kind of ready to go, he's ready to just open up a little bit with the football and ready to be a bit more expressive and expansive, and the Premier League moves more in that direction, then do you see a world where Saka, Nwaneri, Dowman are all sharing the pitch at the same time? That's the vision I want for Arsenal. And actually, I just remember that final point as well, which is, that's the direction I want for Arsenal. I also want to, and I'm not trying to slander players, I didn't even watch the game, so it'd be ridiculous of me to, but I'm also ready to move on from Martinelli and Jesus. Now, let's hope we win the league, and I think for their services to Arsenal, they absolutely deserve it, and their hard work and everything. But I read online everywhere that they really struggled in this game again. I mean, Martin got the assist on paper for Madueke. But basically, if they keep struggling, then ultimately Dowman will be forced to play because everyone else isn't good enough. So when Arteta look at these guys, he's going to go, well, I'd rather bring this guy on. He's better. And that's another problem. At least Madueke is kind of destroying his fullback and getting the odd goal. But, Jesus hasn't done anything for months.
Jesus was terrible on the weekend. Like, he was really bad. And his contract ends, so he'll be definitely going. We'll have a chat soon around what I think is the end of a cycle And part of that cycle means changes. And I think Jesus, he'll go anyway. Martinelli, I would sell him. And Odegaard, I think, might be in that category as well. But to your question, Turkish, I disagree with James. I think I don't want him to feature, but I think he will be a part of the rest of the season. Because if you look at the injuries we've got to forward line players, Marino's out for the season. Ranieri's out on loan. Odegaard, I don't know what's happening there. I think he'll be on the. I don't know if he'll play, but I think you'll start seeing him in match day squads quite a bit at the bare minimum, just because players in his position are either not there or injured. So I think he will be visibly involved in match day squads, kind of going forward. And a hot take I've got for the World Cup in England is that I don't think Foden goes to the World Cup. Right? I don't think Tuchel will take Phil Foden. I'm not sure he'll take Eze either. But it wouldn't surprise me, going back to Daps's point earlier on about this, I didn't know there was talk around DOWMAN in England. It wouldn't surprise me if he just does a Theo Walker and thinks, sod it. Because with him signing an extension now, and now going to be the England manager at the Euros as well, he can now future plan. He might think, all right, well, the squad's allocation for the World Cup are quite big. I think it's 26 you can take, it's 26?
Sounds about right, yeah.
It's a lot of players you can take. So it wouldn't stun me if he just thinks you're not going to get a minute, but come with us, and I've got you in mind for the Euros in 2 years, which I think is in the UK. I think the next Euros is here. Yeah. So it wouldn't surprise me if he's the kind of wild card shout for England. But bring him back to Arsenal, I think you will see him on quite a few match day squads.
Do we actually think he could go to the World Cup?
It's a long shot shout. I'm not sure if I believe that. I'm just thinking he's really good. He's English. Tuchel's here for now the next tournament as well. He will know all about him. The squad sizes are big.
I think if he plays a big enough part and we do well and he stands out enough, that's where I think, there's a possibility. Right now, I don't think he will go. I think it's too early for him. But if he does play a big part, then I could see,
I think if we got Everton and Bournemouth at home, we've got a few games around that we expect to kind of guide ourselves well through. I think if he's got minutes at Mansfield, come out, the only one shining, he could very well get minutes against Everton at home, Bournemouth at home. That's 2 more games. I think he could get minutes against Leverkusen. Don't forget there's international break in March. I wouldn't be surprised if he's in the squad for March if he gets the minutes that I think he could get, because England do have an attacking problem for the international matches in March. I do think he's
okay.
Because I think Tuchel's that's sort of a manager to do something a bit off the cuff as well. And I think England have had a problem in last 3 major tournaments. How do you make this attack work? And they're going to bring the exact same people again to ask the same questions. Yes, a different manager, but sometimes someone different. And again, do I want this? I'm not a man. I can't see the future. If DOWMAN is a Yamal prototype or that sort of trajectory, then yes, I want this. Go to the World Cup and go do your thing and leave it bright lights and all of that. But just the pessimist in me is just under the radar stuff. But I'm so impressed by him that it's just I expect him to kick on, because our attack is so dull and he is so bright. There's only so many more games we can hold back this brightness for, because the rest of our attack is so dull. If the rest of our attack was firing, I wouldn't be, insinuating as much as I am here. But
it's so funny because we keep saying if he's a Yamal, and and I get the conversation, but it's like, even if he's a Doué, Doué is class.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, we don't talk about Doué though, we talk about Yamal, but it's like, basically, you don't even have to get to that level to just be unbelievable and feel like, he's too good to leave out, which speaks more to the level Yamal's at. I mean, do you guys think Yamal's the best player in the world right now? Is he number 1 for you guys?
As a purist, the football purist, yeah.
Yeah, as a purist.
Yeah.
But
he is very different, though. I don't know if you lot. I like Barca. Like, it's from the El Clasico days. Messi. I'm Messi's the GOAT. But Yamal, if you lot see Yamal now, he's very dangly. He's really grown in his body in the last 18 months. Like, he was very low center of gravity in the Euros and previous to that. Now he's quite dangly, and he's very different. When he runs on the ball, he looks very different to what he did 18 months ago. But
he reminds me of a young Dembele.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, a little bit.
Young Ousmane Dembele more than like Messi. I mean, the Messi comparisons, apart from
okay.
Barca, youngster. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like an insult. I just don't. We'll never see a Messi again for me. But the fact that like people are kind of even entertaining, well, was Messi this good at that age? Just speaks to kind of Yamal's quality. But I mean, his ball striking as well is incredible.
Yeah,
I mean, that
brilliant.
goal he scored the other day.
Brilliant.
Was it Getafe? I don't know who they were playing. I was just catching it on Twitter.
Yeah.
Just like took it really quickly onto his left foot and they just, bended it off the post. So that's something, again, without comparing the actual players and the level, I'm interested to see whether, what's DOWMAN like off, quick ball striking, kind of very little backlift. How does he do in those situations? I'm interested to see basically can he get numbers? I don't know how he did at academy level, numbers wise. Interested to see whether he's got any of that in him. And also that will determine whether we see him as a false 9, a 10, a right winger. So I think we've still got a lot to learn about him. What we just know, he's a crazy, crazy talented footballer.
Midfield for me, central.
Can I just say one more thing? Can I say one thing before you move on, Turkish? It's funny because I don't necessarily want him to go for England, but I actually feel like international football is tailor-made for him. I actually feel like it's at international level where it's more open, it's not so physical. I actually feel like it's tailor-made for him. But yeah.
And also for me, he has just come back from a surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to your question earlier on, Turkish, I think he will get minutes by default, but they'll be aware of that as well. We don't want this guy to break down again, so they got to look after him.
All right. This coming from someone that says don't talk about DOWMAN. We've done 40 minutes on him, but what couldn't you can't hold back greatness. And I mean, I'm not saying he was great against Mansfield, but I mean, what was great against Mansfield? People, you let me know what you wanted us to talk about the last 40 minutes. James,
I'll tell you, great. Yeah, I thought that little Norgard spin for the winning goal for Eze, just a little thing. I just like that. I like a player who goes. What I like about Norgard is, I think we all saw him as quite a limited player, but he doesn't play within himself. He doesn't play like a limited player. You know that little back heel flick against Kairat when he's the one who bursts forward against Wigan. He's the one spraying passes. I don't know. I think he might not. Maybe he's kind of more talented on the ball than we realised, and we just kind of never profiled him that way. And at Brentford, we all saw him as like a very steady, neat on the ball, tough tackling midfielder. But maybe we're being harsh because I really like the way he took, just decided to spin the other way, roll the player, and then feed it into Eze, and Eze does the rest. And I agree with you, it was similar to Tottenham in the way he kind of worked a little bit of space out of nothing. He actually did a similar thing at Newcastle before rolling it to Zubimendi, and Timber nearly scored. So he's quite good in those spaces, Eze, but it was good to see that from Norgard, and it's good to see Eze getting some goals because obviously it was the North London derby, and since then, we hadn't seen it. But I just, Palace fans say he comes to life at this part of the season, sort of end part. He knows how to do his thing in the FA Cup. But yeah, I just want to shout out those two again. Having not watched the game, I'm very much reacting to the moments. And it was good to see.
It sounds like you watched the game, mate.
Yeah.
I'm lying. Like, what else is there? Because you're right, Norgard does deserve a mention for that. And to be honest, he's impressed. His cameos have impressed me more than Jorginho's last season.
Jorginho's last season, yes, but Jorginho's the season before was
different class.
I feel like he's kind of forced Arteta's hand. I feel like Arteta had the body in there but didn't trust him. And then now, he's given him a couple games. And I feel like Arteta's actually seeing that, do you know what? I was maybe a bit wrong about him. And now he's starting to, show that he can be trusted on the pitch. And I just wish that Arteta did that sooner, because the knock-on effect is that, Zubimendi, for me, has just looked shattered recently. And I feel like Norgard should have been given more games, and Zubimendi maybe rested in games where Zubimendi didn't have to play 90 minutes. Just give Norgard, that time there.
Yeah, I kind of want to relate this back to. I mean, Jordan, you mentioned what Lee said on Forever about Declan Rice and resting him for a few games and whatnot. I'm not against that, even against the Leverkusen, because I feel like Norgard is not a like for like.
Changed your mind now, have you?
No, I never disagreed. Go back to the show and see.
Okay.
I never disagreed with you, actually. I'll have you know. The glasses suit you, by the way, Jordan, man. I can't lie. Sorry to change the subject, but you look like
We're trying something.
Yeah.
You reckon, James?
You look like
better
you're
than
gonna do
Louis.
poetry.
I look like who?
It looks like you're gonna do poetry.
You know what? I got bars. You know, I got a couple bars.
You know Rafael de la Ghetto.
Come on, man.
Cannons to the left of us, cannons to the right.
For those that know,
Let me know in the comments. Change his back.
I was gonna say it's better than the Luigi outfit, but
shut up.
you know,
And
anything's a level up.
Mario last time.
Yeah, in the comments, they killed me. Anyway, yeah, sorry. Thank you very much. You were halfway through a point before you interrupted yourself.
Yeah, I've lost it. Rafael de la Ghetto now, man. I want to watch Fresh Prince. But let's move on. Go on, James.
Yeah, well, as this wraps up the sort of the FA Cup sort of chat, what one takeaway I did have was a lot of conversation recently has been about the quality of the Premier League, how entertaining it is, and I think there's an absolutely fair conversation to have around.
The fair conversation is football, though. Sorry to cut you. The fair conversation is football, not the league. It's been coming for years.
Yeah, completely and utterly echo that and agree. I think what's interesting, though, is while the actual 90 minutes might not be as entertaining as they have in previous years, and that's true of football and all that, I don't know if we've ever had such a compelling season in terms of narrative and story. If Arsenal win the league, we'll have done it for the first time in 22 years. We've got two teams that it's never been done before, going into mid-March, are both on for the quadruple. I mean, it's one thing having one team that could do it and like actually somewhat reasonably do it. Now, neither team are going to do it, but it's not crazy. It's actually not crazy to say that Arsenal or Man City could do the quadruple. We've never had that before. And the fact that they got a final kind of lines up really nicely, there's every chance we meet them in the FA Cup final. I mean, if we both go the way of the Champions League, that's the only place we can meet them. So, you know, there's kind of layers of narrative there. Let's see how that plays out. You've got a top four race that is constant twists and turns. You don't know what you're getting from Liverpool, United, Villa, Chelsea, but I'm really glued to that. Like week to week, I'm enjoying who's dropping points this week, what games do they have, because there's so many of them battling, and that fifth spot has made it almost even bigger because there is that extra team that can sneak in. So I'm enjoying that. And then you've got the most incredible relegation battle. You know, you've got a relegation battle where Tottenham, I saw this, I think Rory Talks Football did a video on this. Tottenham in January were 13 points and a game in hand ahead of West Ham. It's now a point. It's all eyes on a relegation battle where something utterly unprecedented could happen and wouldn't be that surprising. When you look at Tottenham's remaining games, it is completely possible they get relegated. You've got this Champions League where you've got some great games already. Newcastle Spurs, Barca Newcastle. Atletico Spurs, Barca Newcastle, Chelsea PSG, Real Madrid Man City. Yeah, you've got some great battles. You've got Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City and Chelsea all in the FA Cup quarter-final. I think we're in for a massive 3 months of football here, guys. I think we're in for a really, really great 3 months of football. Now, whether the full 90 minutes are so entertaining is one thing, but from a narrative and story perspective, I think it's as compelling as I've ever remembered it, personally.
Right.
Just on your relegation.
The is there. The quality isn't, though. That's the problem, isn't it?
100%. Yeah.
I think just on your relegation point there as well, I'm not convinced Leeds are out of it. I still think Leeds could go. I've got a funny feeling that Leeds had a really good run in December and January. And I just wonder if they peaked at the wrong time. I just think they might have peaked 6 weeks too early. So yeah, you're right. But there's a lot of teams down there. You were talking about Declan Rice being rested against Leverkusen, Turkish.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about Tottenham getting relegated now. Are we not?
Well, I think we'll come back. We'll come back to Leverkusen. But I mean, genuine show of hands. Is anyone more than 30% thinking Tottenham could go down?
I am now. Yeah,
I'm more than 30. Yeah.
Before the weekend, no. I mean, before Palace, no, because I thought they'd win that game. After Palace, it just looks like they're mentally checked out.
No, for me, mate, it was when I saw West Ham won at Fulham, I was like, oh no.
Oh, okay,
Because
yeah.
there was something about Tottenham getting battered there. I know it was only 2-1, but they got battered in that game. West Ham then rocking up a few days later, winning. And I said, like, it's just not an easy place to go. I thought, oh my word, West Ham have a bit of momentum here. And the fact that they could be above them had Sesko not equalised so late for Man United only a few weeks back. And you think, oh, West Ham and Forest, on the same night that Forest went and got some of the Etihad, these teams are fighting. And the momentum is so unbelievably against Tottenham. We're talking like West Ham have sort of been kind of creeping up, but Tottenham are this. Like, it is a nosedive. They are absolutely in free fall.
The next game, yeah?
I'm literally just looking at that now. Liverpool
away.
And then Forest.
Yeah.
They've got to go to Villa Park, Anfield, Stadium of Light, and then their last away game of the season is Chelsea. Chelsea fans are dreaming of relegating Tottenham. Like, they're tweeting, like Rory Jennings was tweeting, like, he was like, I don't care if Arsenal win the league. If we relegate Tottenham, it'll be a great season. Like, it's unbelievable.
Do you guys want them relegated?
Yeah.
I didn't at first, but now I do.
I do.
Now I do. Yeah, I do.
But do you know what it is? No, you're Mr. Derby. Bun the Derby, man. Get out of it.
No, I do want them relegated. But I saw a great tweet. I wish I could credit who it was. It was such a good point. See Palace that night against Tottenham. They've probably never been more supported in their life. They had the whole league going, come on, Palace. That is going to be every opponent for Tottenham to now and then in the season. This, I can't believe I'm saying this, Jamie O'Hara said it best. This would be more incredible than Leicester winning the league. Like, in terms of like how unbelievably astonishing it is. Or maybe in terms of how the story, right? I feel a bit bad saying that because what Leicester did was unbelievable. Maybe it's not as big. But my point is, you're talking about something utterly unprecedented. And every team that comes up against Tottenham now has got that sense of, they all want us to do it. Like, and that's up against a team with crippling pressure to deliver. This is a Tottenham group that don't know what it's about, a club that haven't been here before, a fan base who are bricking it, and I can't blame them for it. And there is, like I said, a crippling pressure now to deliver. And I say crippling because how do you go 1-0 up and Van der Ven goes and does that? It's a crippling pressure for this team right now. I think they're going to survive. I do. I think they'll get one or two players back and they'll do it. But, oh my word, I think this is going to rumble on to the end of the season.
The second most concerning thing for them as well is, I don't know if they went down, I don't know if it's a guarantee they come straight back up. I mean, let's see what happens in the summer, and they'll be favourites, of course. But this idea that they just return straight away, I don't know. That team needs a reboot. That team
I think they would. If I'm honest, I think they'd bounce back immediately.
They probably would. They'll be the favourites too. They probably would, but I don't think it's a guarantee they come straight back up. They'd lose a lot of players. The management, I don't know. Because in the championship,
this is insane,
everyone wanting to beat them now. In the championship,
yeah,
it's everyone's cup final. It's everyone's cup final, and there's a lot of London teams in that league. There's a lot.
Look at that stadium. Look at that, and they're going to be like, oh, looking forward to this ground. I mean, honestly, I can't believe we're even talking about this. It's absolutely insane. In the same season that they lost twice to us and took 4 points off City, they could get relegated. Unbelievable.
I think though as well, though. I think also as well, for me, when it comes to Tottenham, at first I'm like, they're too good to go down. But then when you look at last season where they finished, and then they're doing it again this season, it's no longer just a fluke for me. Now I'm like, no, this is your level. Do you know what I'm saying? Because one season you can be like, all right, cool. 2 seasons, it's like, nah. And now I'm looking at, like you said, momentum is everything in football. And right now they have zero momentum. And they're coming up against teams. They're coming up against teams who are fighting for things, sandwich in that Atletico Madrid. Do you know what I mean? They've got to go to Spain. Mate, they might actually go down. And they're not showing any fight. That's the thing. Whereas the other teams,
the worst momentum in the league. Yeah. Wolves, Burnley, all of them have looked more competitive, been part of more compelling games, kind of shown a little something here and there. They've all shown more than Tottenham recently, which is extraordinary. Did you hear Did you see Jason Cundy and Jamie O'Hara? He must have seen all the clips.
Yeah.
Did
I
bounce from
yeah.
Yeah, I mean that absolutely killed me. I can't remember what you said. Do you know what, Turkish? You were going to say something. If I can remember what Jason, he made a great point, Jason Cundy, but I've forgotten it. What were you going to say, Turkish?
Next week as well. I mean, it's all in because West Ham plays City, 8 p.m. on Saturday night. So obviously, if we needed another reason to cheer on West Ham on Saturday night, they can do us a favor and also leapfrog Tottenham in the table by winning.
I said earlier on that I don't think Leeds is safe, but I fear in terms of West Ham, I think that equaliser that United scored might kill them. You know, I think they might look back at the end of the season and think we had to hang on. I just got a feeling they're going to rue that goal from Šeško. You know, just got a bad feeling they're going to really, because if they had won that game, they're above Spurs right now. They'd be above Spurs right now. I just think they're going to. I don't know.
These men ain't even won in 2026. So, as much as I hear you, I think West Ham got a big opportunity, man. Next week, Man City.
Oh, sorry, I remembered it. Jason Cundy said, "And Postecoglou is your best ever manager. He won the Europa League and he kept you up." It's like, forget saying he finished 17th. He kept you up. I was like, that's such an outrageously disingenuous way to put it. But I rate it.
I can't lie. This is something we have to check in on every week as well. A little segment on the show and see what's going on there.
I'm down.
It's an interesting proposition on the cards. But in terms of proposition, the next up is Leverkusen Wednesday night. Just a heads up, people. I'm going to Leverkusen, so the pod won't be out nice and early on Thursday morning as it usually is after midweek games. But we will sort that. Probably Friday morning it'll be out. So the next pod will probably be Friday morning, and there won't be no pod if you don't scan the QR code and show Proton some love, because I won't be able to pay the lads. So if you need a VPN, show them some love. 15,000 servers, 115 countries, available everywhere, reliable everywhere. I use it on this MacBook here, on my iPhone, on my TV downstairs, my iPad. All of that is Proton through the roof, and there ain't no one getting in to my data, privacy, security, all of that. And it's only through Proton that you can get locked off. So show Proton some love, people. And let's get into Leverkusen. I mentioned the Rice thing. James.
Wait, Jordan gets paid for this?
It
shocks me every time I send it to him as well. But I mean,
I think his glasses got pulled. You know what I mean? He's a Gucci, you know. What do you mean? He's talent, baby.
Gucci.
Let me just say as well, though, while you're on that, it's because of you that I actually got Proton. No banter.
Swear that.
It's because of you. Like the way you're able to incorporate them, whether you're happy, sad, vexed. I was like, do you know what? Let me help him. And it works. It works.
We got Proton, man. Show Proton some love, man. What are we doing out here?
I can't remember what game it was. We obviously didn't win the game, and I had I had the ad read, and I called my guy at Proton. I said, I can't do the ad read. Like, it's just I just can't be fake, and I can't sell people satin when I'm vexed. Like, I just can't do it. And they said, just do it how you want to do it. I said, are you sure? They said, do it how you want to do it. So since then they've been sure, and we're here now, a year and a half later. So satin's going right.
I saw a comment on one of your match reactions when you first lost your head. It might have been Man United, Newcastle. So I think it was Man United at the Emirates.
Yeah.
And some of the comments are saying, I've never been bullied into downloading an app before. I felt like I had to.
Hey, show Proton some love, man. Hey, I can't lie. What other brand allows a man to promote the way I promoted the brand? Come on, man, you have to show them some love for that alone. And I'll be using them in Germany, protect myself, not just here, but across the borders too, throughout Europe. But Leverkusen away Wednesday night, Champions League back in full effect. Obviously, we know our run, we know the draw, we know we've been blessed up until, I expect, the semi-finals at the very least. I mean, is that a fair expectation? Semi-finals, very
100%.
Yeah.
I think final personally, but yeah, semi definitely.
Probably Barca in the semis. Barca, they've got quality, so you can't dismiss them. And we learned from PSG last year. I mean, you might think one thing of a team at one point, and then they're a completely different entity at another point. So, and if you look at the way Barca got knocked out by Inter, was it Inter?
Yeah.
Inter last year. I don't know how they got knocked out. The football they were playing was mad, but then defensively, yeah. But listen, it's not Barca, it's Leverkusen. Anyone worried about this one? Anyone, think it's a potential, I don't know what to call them, but
I'll kick off. I think we've just got to do what we've been doing for the last couple of years, which is really understanding European football. It's a two-legged tie. The first leg is away. We don't have to go mad. We don't even have to win the first leg, although it'd be nice to kind of have a comeback with a cushion. Let's just play it smart. Leverkusen are not the Leverkusen of the last couple of years, excuse me, but they're still a European side to be respected. I think we can go there, handle our business diligently, take the chances that we get. I think we'll be okay. I think we've got it feels like our time for a European final. Let's not say win it, but to be in a final, it feels like this is our time. Do you know what I mean? Barca feel like they're maybe not quite ready yet. They're kind of doing their thing. Madrid are just Madrid. They'll either get knocked out in this round or get to the final. PSG had their moment last year. It feels like for us, the culmination of 2 or 3 years in Europe, we're maturing into a European side. Let's just use that to kind of go to Leverkusen and assert ourselves. Like, we're not little Arsenal no more. We're a big boy team now. Let's do that, but let's do it intelligently. We don't want to be going 2-0 down to 2 dumb goals. Let's be smart. Let's be professional. Let's get in and let's come back to the Emirates with the bare minimum, a draw, if not a goal or 2 lead. I think we'll be okay if we're smart about this.
I got that feeling after Real last year.
Yeah,
I refuse to get that feeling this year. I got the feeling about the Premier League this year, but yeah, about the Champions League, I just can't. Not yet, man. Last year, I really thought we were gonna do it. I was gallivanting. I moved from here to Paris alone. I was just roaming the streets alone, thinking, hey, we're about to witness something special. But yeah, Daps, talk to me. Leverkusen, Champions League in general. I mean, let me ask you, Daps, if I could give you one in May, Premier League, Champions League, which one would it be for you? I know we get this question all the time, so I'm just throwing it back to you. It's mad, isn't it?
I can't pick, because on one hand we've never won Champions League.
You got to pick, man. Come on, Dabs. You got to pick.
Champions League.
Okay, and I get it. Even though I'm Premier League, I get it.
Champions League. You know what? I normally say Premier League, but I've been there so many times where we've been called buttlers. I think I can take that banner. Do you know what I'm saying? I think if we get to the final of the Champions League, I think that one there, because we've not been there before. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think Champions League for me.
That's so interesting, because I at the start of the season, with no context as to how it was going to go, I said Champions League as well, for the same reasons. Never won it, and I think it'll do so much for our club and the way we're viewed to just have that one Champions League trophy. But the thing is, we can't not win the Premier League with the leads we've had and like with the position we've been in this season. So offered it to me now, I've got to say Premier League, and the Champions League can come hopefully in the future, and the Premier League then kind of kicks off something. It didn't happen immediately for City. I just feel like, or PSG actually, I just feel like, how do we recover from a 4th, 2nd place? I honestly think that could just, like, even if we win the Champions League, I feel like it could just, that's it. I think it would just ruin like the kind of the legacy and potential of this team in the league. So yeah,
the Turkish, the comment tried to cook me, in the comments with my comments about the Champions League, right? They tried to take it out of context, right, and say that anyway. But I said exactly what James said. I said from here on in, for me, if you don't win the Premier League, but you win the Champions League, that for me that's not a great season for me. It's not a great season for me. I think from here on in, if you don't win the Premier League, I think that says so much more about you than winning the Champions League. You can't, from here on in, you can't not win the Premier League. You just can't. So I just wanted to make that point, because the comments were like, Jordan said winning the Champions League is not a successful season. It's like, well, listen to my full answer and what I said, and then come for me. I
agree with you. Jordan, I agree. If we win the Champions League, of course I'll be elated. Of course it'll be a successful season. Of course we'll party, we'll enjoy the summer. It'll be incredible. But 100%, there'll be that slight underlying, how do we not win the league again? There just would be, like, from the position we've been in, for what City have been this year, 100% we'd carry a bit of that. So, yeah, that's definitely on my mind as well. But
you know
ultimately, come May, I wouldn't give a shit.
No, I'd rave as well. But you know what? Ultimately, let's just go in both. Let's just go in both.
Exactly, exactly.
You're on mute.
Who, me?
No, Turkish on mute.
Oh, yeah, no. In terms of Champions League, I feel like from what I've seen of Arsenal over the last 2 seasons Champions League, I'm at ease. I'm comfortable knowing that we can go to Leverkusen and just do a professional job. I think in Europe we've become really good at doing professional jobs. When it comes to the away legs, and also I used to approach Arsenal as I've got PTSD. They're always going to mess it up somehow. Whereas now, I also just have to acknowledge that we actually are a quality team. So I think that if we go over there, get a draw, hopefully a win, come back to the Emirates, I think we've got too much for them, to be honest. And it's weird for me to be saying that Arsenal are a team that will be too much, because in years gone by, for whatever reason, Arsenal Leverkusen would be an either or who could win it. But I'm not too worried about Leverkusen. That's not me overlooking Leverkusen, but I'm not too worried about them. And I do feel like, for me, the minimum would be a semi-final, because as much as we're good and we've got a great chance to win it because of the way the draws have happened. Yeah, Barcelona are still Barcelona at the end of the day, or every team in this thing. They're still good teams. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, Leverkusen I think will win, and semi-finals minimum for me.
Real Madrid was so big because I remember going into that game, I laughed because I said this is the end of the road for us because of that PTSD, because we hadn't done it in Europe. Well, we haven't done it in terms of winning it ever, but in terms of a big scalper team with some respect coming and playing over 2 legs, we'd always get knocked for 6 and out of the competition. After that, Real won, and then obviously Atletico, Bayern this season as well. I think those 3, the way we maneuvered through, you could not so much Inter, but okay, Bayern, Atletico this season and Real last season. I think between those 3, in terms of my vision of Arsenal in Europe, is very different. And credit to Mikel for that, by the way, because I've said this before. We were never ever favourites for Champions League ever, even in our glory days. Henry, Bergkamp, Wenger, we were never favourites. At some point last season, we found ourselves as favourites. Going into the Champions League this season, we were one of the favourites and quickly manoeuvred into first. So that PTSD is kind of parked off now. But yeah, I mean, this would be the era to get it in now, because we've also learned that if you don't get it in the era that you're meant to get things in, you might not be alive for the next era.
What I was going to say is that, are we favourites just being the miserable Jordan that I am? Are we favourites now because we're much better, or has Europe just got much worse?
I think both things are true. I think we are the best. Like, who said it? I think Adam McCullough said it somewhere, but he probably meant it in a disrespectful way about Arsenal. But what did he say? I'm trying to think. I've done a James here because I can't exactly remember how he worded it. But he said that Arsenal are the best team. It might not even been him. Arsenal are the best team right now, clear. But if you compare this Arsenal team to the best teams in football over the last, 5, 10, 15, 20 years, we would be the worst of the lot, which is probably somewhat fair.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, and that's fine.
I
think it's fine.
It's fine.
That's fine. Yeah, I don't care.
It's also the league that Van Dijk described as the hardest he's ever played in. So I think there's just so many ways to look at it. Like, it's extraordinary that Wolves, who at one point were on course to have a worse points tally than Derby, even when they were in that form, people went, yeah, but they're not that bad. I think it just, I don't know. I think it's just a very strange era for football, and maybe trying to compare it isn't fair, because what would this Arsenal team do if they played at a different tempo, with different tactics, with managers approaching in a different way? So we talk about Ødegaard struggling at the moment. Eze hasn't been at his very best, although he's got a few goals. But maybe they would look unbelievable. Maybe Ødegaard would look world class in a league that played more to his strengths. Because we all know 2 years ago he looked unbelievable, making team of the year in the Premier League and all that. Like, he looked sensational. So what, he just became a worse player? Maybe he regressed, or maybe the league changed, as it did for Cole Palmer, as it has for Phil Foden, as it has for lots of players. So I hear it. I absolutely hear that. I could never put Arsenal, even if we win the league, in any conversations with the greats. But
So
I don't know.
So what?
Yeah, a little bit. Like, what was I never watched treble winning Man United, but they won the league on 70-something points. Now, I didn't watch them. Yeah, so I didn't watch them. So I can't offer any analysis other than mathematically they must have drawn and lost a lot of games. Fact. Like, that's a fact. So, but they won the treble, and that's what they're known for. So who knows? I don't think Arsenal's legacy and this side's legacy will be written by the football they play, but more what they collect along the way. And I tell you what, if we even come away with a domestic treble, if we come away with 2 trophies, if we come away with a Premier League or Champions League, we will put them in some nasty conversations, regardless of the football we played.
Shameless.
We will. We absolutely, but we'll have every right to, because we'll say, yeah, we did look like shit, but you know what? So did everyone else, and we knew how to handle it. And that will be the different way in which you read it. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah. All right. Well, all right. Lineup wise, Leverkusen. I mean, is there anything out of the norm someone would suggest? I mean, Trossard went off injured, so I assume front three would probably be Martinelli, Gyökeres, and Saka. Yeah.
Just Martinelli.
Who is there?
Exactly. But I just,
unless he does the remember that gem from the summer, MADUEKE on the left wing was the plan. Maybe we do that one again.
Yeah, or he moves Eze to the left and goes Havertz and Gyökeres together.
That was
I want to see Eze left in the 10. Leave him alone in the 10. He seems to be kind of getting a bit warm there now. Exactly. I think we're going to, and also just for my own personal pride, I've banked on Eze finishing the season strong, right? So I need Eze to finish the season strong in the 10, right? Yeah. I've been banging on about that all season. So no, but I would leave Eze there. Just let the guy have a run. Odegaard's out injured. Just leave him there. Give him some games. And these European games, maybe where it might suit him better as well. Just leave him there.
Should do. Havertz left wing then.
No.
Martinelli. Midfield wise, would it be the strongest obviously being Zubi, Rice, Eze, in terms of who's available? Everyone comfy with that, even though I mentioned Rice and Daps mentioned Zubi in terms of maybe tired legs. Do we change anything there or keep it strong as hell?
I feel like I've kind of doubled down on my point now. I wouldn't start Rice. I'd give him another game off. I would give him another game off, but he will start.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. But he will start. 100%. He will start.
Yeah. Do you know what? Norgard's definitely good enough and could easily start this game. But if he did start Rice as Mendy, there'd be a little part of me going, fair play, Mikel. Like, we've got a lot of games that you're still taking this as seriously as you can. Yeah. There's kind of no messing about, because imagine we lose 1-0 and we've got an awkward game at the Emirates and we'd rotated for this game. It will be looked at as like, you disrespected a competition you've never won. And so I think he will go strong, and I have no problem with that. So I think Rice and Zubi will start.
But James, I hate that narrative because it can be you, but we're respecting the fact that we're in everything at this moment. How about look at it? Do you know what I mean? But you're right. That's how it is.
True. You're right. No, you're right. You're right.
What I was going to say to you, James, was you're right in what you said, but then if the game finished, we lose the game, say 1-0, that's a lead we can overturn. The upside is you've given Rice another few days off, so he goes into the game, the 2 City games, in theory, fresh or refreshed. Do you know what I mean? And charged. I'm looking at those 2 games as the games where I need Declan Rice to just pocket that midfield, and if it means giving another few games off and even sacrificing a 1-0 defeat, it's a gamble I probably would take. But I get the option wouldn't look great. I get it.
The FA Cup has been a blessing for us because we've had, with all respect in the world, like the draw from heaven. And we've had Portsmouth away, Wigan at home, and Mansfield away. It's been an unbelievable draw. The fact that we've been talking about a draw in the Champions League where we could rotate a little bit, because had we just had one Premier League side at home, or even like a very good Championship side away or a Premier League side away, Rice or Zubimendi would have had to have played some minutes. You know, we've been able to do things like, we've been able to give Waneri minutes, bring Havertz back from injury, start Dowman. We played Saka in the 10, like for no reason at all. Like we've been able to do that, basically just completely mess about in the FA Cup. We went to back 3 and played a 16-year-old just to manage minutes. So the FA Cup's been such a blessing.
That's all true, James. But to be fair, we were due a nice draw in the cup. The last 3 years,
we've had bullshit draws for years.
Yeah.
No, but all my Arsenal supporting life, we've had bullshit draws. Like I've never ever seen us just have like a nice run. I mean, I know there was that year when we won the FA Cup. Who do we have? Hull, Wigan, and I get that. But in the run up, we had Everton, we had Liverpool, we had Tottenham. Like in the run up to that bit. So yeah, I agree. We were kind of due at some point, just a nice run of draws.
Yeah. So attack done, midfield done. Raya obviously back in goal. Champions League makes sense, and the black line.
Do you know what? I thought I heard that. I thought I heard that. And I was like, wait, no, surely
not. What did Jordan do?
It's not even Jordan this time. Jordan was sharp. I didn't even clock it. Sharai on the last show, when he was talking about the black line, he said black line, but none of us clocked it. But Jordan did, and about 3 minutes later, Jordan said black line, and no one clocked it again. I clocked it from the comments. That's where I clocked it, from the comments.
Fair play.
That was hilarious. That was just thinking, what did this guy just say?
Yeah, I thought I heard it, but I was like, nah, you know what?
First time on the pod, man. Let's not go to madness. But the back line is the back line. Calafiori come off injured. Hincapié as well. Fabrizio's confirmed that, he's confirmed what we all knew, that is going to be signed, sealed, delivered in terms of the transfer from Leverkusen.
I didn't know that. Okay, cool.
Yeah. He released that today, I believe. So what do we do against them? Is it Hincapié, Saliba, Gabriel, Timber? Is it easy as that?
I think
Saliba
so.
back.
Oh, shit. There you go. Yeah. I don't know.
I think there's every chance he plays Mosquera.
Sorry.
I think he'll play.
Should be fine with Mosquera. Should be fine.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, did you guys think Mosquera looked a touch shaky against Brighton?
A little. Because he got moved, didn't he? Didn't he get subbed? He got subbed, didn't he? Get subbed?
Yeah,
yellow card. Subbed off.
Minte had him on the set. Yeah, shaky.
He wasn't great.
I felt like even against Mansfield, I know there were people blaming Salmon for the goal or whatever, but I still feel like Mosquera should have dealt with that much better. Do you know what I'm saying? As soon as that ball, there was that hesitation, and that just epitomized his entire game the other day. So, but I think Mosquera's one who suffers from playing without Gabriel. Like, you need to put him at this stage of his career. You need to put him with Saliba or Gabriel. I think, who was that game against when it was him and Hincapié at Centre? Was it Villa?
Out of nowhere.
Chelsea away.
It was a big game.
Chelsea.
Yeah.
And they struggled. So I think Mosquera's okay when he's got one of them two with him, but without, I think he looks a bit shaky.
It's magic.
I love him, by the way.
Yeah, I actually prefer him to Hincapié. I love Mosquera a lot. I've been a little bit I'm just watching Hincapié a little bit, and you could argue this calendar year, he's probably been our best player.
Hincapié's been so good.
I think he has a shout to be our best player this calendar year so far.
He's been what Timber was in the first half. You get what I'm saying, in terms of not the same player, but how strong they've been all round.
Yeah, man. I think Hincapié is definitely winning me over, and if we've signed him, I'm not mad at that. I think he deserves us to keep his spot. I don't think he offers quite what Calafiori does going forward, but defensively, I think he's significantly better at left back than Calafiori. So I'm not mad at that.
But going forward, mate. Sorry, go.
Like I say, it's funny you mentioned Timber, because he's another one who I feel needs a rest.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, and I've been saying it. That I did a video the other week and I said I didn't want to see him play against Chelsea. Obviously, he played against Chelsea and then scored. But I feel like he needs a rest. And if Mosquera comes in against Leverkusen for Timber, I won't be too mad at that.
I was going to say that going forward in Cape, I think that's to come. You know, I think, you know, watching his highlight reel when we signed him from Leverkusen as a left centre back in a back three, bombing up and down as like a supporting kind of just extra runner. He had a great delivery. And do you remember in his like first few games for Arsenal, he whipped a few really good balls into the box, and we nearly won it at the bridge when he crossed it to Gyökeres. Like he's got a good delivery on him. We just haven't seen that side of him.
Do you remember when we talked a couple of years ago at AFTV, James, about finding our Ben White on the left-hand side in terms of that sort of profile? I think that is not the identical, but in terms of a bomber, a overlapper, like they're similar to those. Whereas Calafiori is more similar to a Timber, where they can invert and they can find themselves a lot more central and maybe more comfy in pockets.
Yeah, he's kind of, without being too, like, I'm trying too hard when I say this, I think Calafiori moves great with the ball and Nketiah moves great without the ball. Like, I could see the left winger getting the ball and Nketiah is just sort of offering that support run. Yeah. Whereas I think Calafiori, I know he's great without the ball because he kind of pulls defenses apart, but I mean, Calafiori's at his best when he's going on a run, isn't he? Or he's just kind of, you know, he's just a bit random. He just decides to do whatever he wants to do. And I sort of quite like him in that free roam role. But I think Calafiori's in big trouble, you know. I think you can't keep getting injured, man. Like Arteta and Berta won't, not in that position. I mean, if you're a striker, they'll give you 6 years to get it right. But left back, you've got about 2 months. You've got 2 months to prove yourself at left back because there's always the next bloke that they're ready to sign. No one loves signing a left back like Mikel Arteta. So I think Calafiori, was that Valdepeñas, the 19-year-old at Real Madrid? I think there's going to be a little bit of movement in that position again.
Yeah. All right, cool. So we've gone through the lineup. I mean, that's pretty much it. Nothing more to say on that. So what we'll do is, as I slowly but surely just make sure the prediction table is uploaded into the back. Yep, it is. Cool. So we're ready to make predictions on Leverkusen. But before we do that, let's just take a look back at the Mansfield predictions, star men, all of that. And just a heads up for the reminder I got in the comment section that James was missing 2 points for Gabriel's clean sheet. I did add that before the Mansfield game. So big up on the community helping out there. This is what the table looks like now. I'm top on 56 points. James is second on 48 points. The guest is now in third place on 46 points. And Jordan is in fourth on 38 points. Me, James, and Jordan all got 5 points this weekend because I picked Madueke Starman and Shiroi picked Eze for James and Jordan picked Eze. Obviously, both on the score sheet. Stricto went Havertz and yeah, he did nothing. So yeah, that's how we do it, Daps. We make a prediction on the scoreline and a prediction on Starman. James, actually, that was before you message him. Go back and watch how it went. I pretty much gave you the Eze shout because I said to Shiroi, and then no, don't thank me. I didn't want to do that. I actually don't like it.
Still, thank you. I'll message him now.
Yeah, thank him. Actually, yeah, you should. Yeah, I should but yeah, prediction for Leverkusen away. I'm gonna go 3-1 Arsenal and Starman Victor Gyökeres. I said I'm not picking that guy again. You know what? I'm gonna go. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go Gyökeres. 3-1 Arsenal. Gyökeres. James.
I'm gonna go Eze again as the star man. I don't know why I said that first, and I think 2-2.
2-2. Cool. Daps.
You're not going to think I'm mad, but I'm going 4-1 Arsenal.
4-1. I thought I was mad.
You're right.
Yeah, that's nice.
Starman, Eze.
No, Eze, cool. Jordan.
I was going to go 4-1 as well. So I'm going to go 3-0 then.
3-0.
And I'm gonna go Starman. You know what? I just gassed him. Let's go Nketiah. Let's go Nketiah, man. Clean sheet and a goal. It's coming.
No wonder you're bottom.
Well, the fact that I'm bottom is like I'm just like sod it. Let me just go rogue. You know?
So to round off the predictions against Leverkusen, I've gone 3-1 Arsenal. Gyökeres Starman. James has gone 2-2 Eze Starman. Daps has gone 4-1 Eze Starman, and Jordan's gone 3-0 Nketiah Starman. Community, let us know yours in the comment section below. Show Proton some love, and we'll wrap it up with comments of the day. And well, that's just me and Jordan, really, unless Jordan's on.
Yeah, I'll be real. I didn't even watch the show, let alone get a comment.
Yeah,
so,
cheers, mate.
Yeah, no worries. But I hope you had a good time.
Yeah,
thanks for the heads up. Should have kept Sharoy on tonight's pod.
Whoa, I was gonna say, Sharoy, where you at?
You could have Stellenbosched your way out tonight and just done whatever the hell you liked. But yeah, here we are.
It's nearly fucking 2 a.m.
Most of my comments were on the black line and the banter Jordan and being the one that picked it out and whatnot.
I got some of those as well. Yeah,
I got a fair few of those.
What was that time on Forever Arsenal when Lee Judges said something and everyone kind of ignored it, and then I said it like 20 minutes later? Do you remember?
Was it a name?
What was it?
Was it
no, it was like a figure of speech. He said like a saying.
The community will remember.
Yeah.
Community will remember.
Find it.
Stay Gooned was the one that gave me the heads up on James clean sheet points for Gabriel, so big up on that one. And yeah,
snitch.
Like I said, there was a lot of the black line ones. Snake Out, 838, Boogie, JR54, all on the black line comment. And KFC Sam or Salim said, Google the price of a tractor.
Yeah, I got that as well. Yeah, I got that too.
The show goes any which way at times, man. So that show's been good though. I can't even lie.
That show was jokes. That was jokes, man. There was a lot of love, surprisingly, for me for once. People said that my speech, it wasn't even a speech. I was just chatting about how I see Arsenal at the moment, but there was a lot of positivity which I didn't like, but whatever. And then there was what's one? Oh yeah, no, mine was always I got Google the price of a tractor. that was the line of the show. Google the price of a tractor. Man.
And they're expensive, man. He had a point, man. He had a point.
Straight to finish me.
I called my cousins as well. They said, "What tractor?"
They shotted that.
I can't even remember the make and model to get some change off them, but yeah, it is what it is. Jordan, James, pleasure as always. Daps, talk to them, man. Obviously, Counter Attack Pod, you do your match reactions and you talk to ballers and whatnot. What's next on the cards for you, like towards the end of this season?
Yeah, so just do my normal reactions there. Couple interviews with players. I got a couple interviews lined up. Had Tolu Orokodare last week or the week before.
Yeah.
Wow. And I've just got loads more players coming on, and hopefully, you'll see a lot more of me.
Don't you remember James Sambi Lukonga's interview a couple years ago? Do you remember?
Yes, I do.
That was man. And
well, you Eddie Nketiah as well.
No, I didn't do. No, I did one with Eddie Nketiah.
One,
I think,
but not that big.
And I did Nuno Tavares as well.
That's it.
Yeah, I did Tavares, so that was good. That was good.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah. I was meant to get one with Declan, but his agents nipped that in the bud real quick.
Of course they did, man.
Yeah, they nipped that in the bud real quick. They're like, nope, and so hopefully
now you've come on this show, there'll be a lot of buds nipping now, man.
Yeah,
get that guy.
I hope it's worth it.
Tell them you was forced. Go show some love, people. Road to 10K Counter Attack Pod. It should be on more, so make sure.
Yes, please.
Yeah, come on, it should be on more. A lot of good content on there. And Daps is a big Arsenal fan, goals, games, match reaction. So, as the community should do, as you always do, show Daps, the special guest, some love. Counter Attack Pod is in the description below. Go subscribe, road to 10K. Let's get him there as quick as we can, people. Show the loose cannon love. And big up James Gooniverse, that's in the description. Big up Jordan, the coolest disabled. That's also in the description. Mine is here. Subscribe, hype, like, and obviously the big 6-2. You know what it is, people. We'll be back after Leverkusen, slightly later than usual, but wait on it, people. Friday morning it will be out. Don't desert us. Thursday, start moaning. Where the hell is this? I'm gonna go watch another podcast. Don't watch no other podcast, people. Wait for this one. It's coming out Friday, and once I get back from Leverkusen. So make sure you're there. Love for the love, and we'll see you when we see you, people. Peace. We're out.